I don't know where to start based on this episode, based on episode 10. This episode was really, really good. I definitely think it really was. Now, before I go ahead explain this episode, I personally want to say here is basically that with the whole situation basically going on with the whole situation with the Kira going on and stuff like that. I kind of want to say here is that a lot of people don't like the Kira situation with the whole magic and stuff like that, basically going in and out of space and stuff like that, and people really don't like that and stuff like that. I don't think there's nothing really wrong with it, in my opinion. I don't think this really is not. I think it is something much more different than I've seen from other Gundams animes and stuff like that. And based from what I see, I may not know really a whole lot about the UC Universal Century, the line and stuff like that with Shari and Lady Kirasha and also some of the others and stuff like that. Before I go ahead and talk about all that, I want to talk about some of it basically at the beginning of this episode. First of all, I want to talk about with Mucha, Manchu, whatever her name is, Mucha, whatever her name is. Mucha, whatever. I think basically with her is basically and stuff. She still has not really fully understand the graphs of basically how to pilot the modes and how to attack on different based on one-on-one. And the reason why that's one of the big issues I have based with this anime. Now, do I expect her to be perfect? No, I don't expect her to be perfect. I don't expect her to really actually do it. Yes, she knows how to pilot a motorcycle, but she has to learn how to basically go in training and stuff like that. But even though she's not really doing training for whatsoever at all and stuff like that. And I feel like when she came back to the ship, the ship, it felt to me like, wow, she's welcome there to stay there, and she's welcome there to I wouldn't say do whatever she pleases or anything like that. It's not saying she's going back to prison or anything like that. It's not just basically. I look at that situation. It doesn't look like that she really actually is, but I like how the commander really actually thinks is that he's given her a chance to do what she feels that she needs to do. That is necessary. Now this is the part I want to talk about based with the commander, and this is one thing that kind of shocked me by surprise because of basically what he did, As a commander of the fleet, or I would say commander of his own ship, or whatever that is, whatever that is stuff like that. The man was kind of conflicted because he really didn't know what was the right thing to do. He didn't know. As a soldier, when it comes there on the battlefield, a commander or sergeant or lieutenant, whoever it is and stuff like that, or supreme commander, or whoever it is and stuff like that, they have to make necessary decisions. Sometimes they have to. Sometimes they really don't have to. Sometimes they have to. Sometimes they have to do what they have to do. And sometimes they're, you don't know the guy on the right or the guy on the left or the behind you or in front of you. That's just kind of like the following the old code, like what Rambo says. Like what Rambo says, we have a code of honor. You look after me, I'll look after you. That's how it is. It's kind of like the left, the right, the front, the back, and you're like the center right there, and you don't know who's going to protect you. And what the point I'm really is trying to say here is basically what the commander basically in this anime is basically that he thinks that he failed the mission. He thinks that something bad was happening. I can't really remember what he was saying and basically and stuff. But he felt like that he was not doing the mission right or anything like that. But then he was basically conflicted that he pretty much just wants to take his life away, which means that he just wants to bang, pow, in his brain and stuff like that. And that's what basically he really wanted to do because he wanted to succeed with this mission. If he did not succeed with this mission, then he would basically have done that. That's kind of like based on the of situations when it comes to soldiers when it goes on the battlefield. Sometimes they see things that they really don't want to see, and sometimes they can't control themselves. PTSD, that's basically what it is. I think PTSD happens to everyone. Everyone goes through motions in their lives, and some people say those are just light, or those are just heavy, and stuff like that. I don't know what is it like for somebody when it goes on the battlefield and you just basically just go out there and you just do your thing, and you just have to do what you feel like you have to do, and stuff like that. I feel like the commander is basically that he feel like he failed. He feel like that he's not really understanding. I guess he doesn't feel like he's not understanding the situation or anything. I really don't know. But it's hard for me to pinpoint based what he's saying. But I think at the point when I'm thinking, I feel like based from him that he doesn't want to be labeled as a hero, because he's just a regular soldier based out there on the field. That's all he really actually is. He doesn't care if he gets a medal. He doesn't care if he gets a badge. He doesn't care whatever that he does. All he's just doing is protecting his country, protecting the right for his country, for the ideals that he believes in, and stuff like that. And one thing I found kind of surprising, basically the most, is basically that really kind of shocked me by surprise. That he says he has a gun that he's been having for a long time, and so he gave this gun to Muchin, whatever her name is. He gave it to her, and says you are free to have that gun whenever that you feel like that you need to use that gun for. Please take care of it. Please be very careful with the gun. The question is what she's going to do with the gun. I think this kind of reminds me based of a situation. I think it was a clip I saw on YouTube or something like that. I think I got spoiled. I think I saw a clip based on YouTube one time where basically Armor Ray versus Char, basically they're basically dueling each other, not just like mobile suit versus mobile suit. They basically got out and they wanted to do this the old-fashioned way, like the classic with John Wayne versus the other guy in the Wild Wild West and stuff like that. I don't mean to joke basically about that, but that's what kind of basically felt to me. Could it be very possible with Naya and also Muchin also as well too? Could they go into a clash between each other with the Wild West of the situation with that? Like I said before, I don't mean to joke around with that, but that's just what I see. That's just basically what I see. But with Naya, basically on the other hand, I definitely want to talk about her. I personally want to say here is basically that Naya has become very consumed by the power that she has, and especially with the motive of the G-Fred. Don't get me wrong, the motive G-Fred is very, very powerful, and I'm not going to lie. And I'm really kind of wondering like how much is this going to go stand up for basically if it gets her. Could she really possibly that she could win? I don't know if she really can or really or not, because you have completely two different mobile suits. You have the Gundam GQuuuuuuX, and you also have the Gundam G, the Gundam G Fred. Basically, also Tim. And one thing I really want to say here is that I don't mean to be disrespectful. Laughing in the whole situation, doing a review, basically with Taco Spirits and stuff like that, I really don't agree with what's. I mean, there's some things I definitely agree with. Just sitting there, just laughing, just exaggerating and stuff like that. Just, I don't know. That's just my opinion and stuff like that. I just don't feel that's a natural review or anything like that. That's just what I basically feel. I mean, I'm not trying to judge a man or anything like that. I just don't agree with what he just basically I just can't look the man very seriously because what he's actually just saying. And I just kind of like, why are you laughing and then you talk serious and then you're laughing, you talk serious, you laugh, you talk serious. I don't know. I just think that's just his thing. I really don't know. But anyways, I want to say here is basically is that yes, Muchin versus Naya is going to be is definitely going to happen. I really definitely believe that is a situation that is definitely going to happen. And the reason why basically I'm saying that because I think the two or basically just fighting over just one guy or one guy basically is Sinju basically with him basically with him. There's a I think there's a peak moment. I think there's a very good possibility. I think basically about the end of the showing the next previews of for the next episode, showing that there's a very good possibility that he could basically come back. I really do not know if he's really actually if he really actually going to come back. But here's the big elephant in the room that I wanted to explain with that. I don't like it. I don't like the fact when you have a Gundam anime that is just fighting over just one guy, basically anime, that makes no sense to me. That really just does not. I just don't seem to really to basically understand it. I just really don't. Could Munchu basically kill Naya? That's a possibility. That's a possibility. Could Naya possibly could kill Munchu? Or that's basically a very good possibility. Or both of them, they probably could both of them, they both could basically both die basically in the battlefield and stuff like that. That could be basically the final conclusion basically of the episode 12. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not so sure or anything like that. But I still want to say this is also I definitely think. I think there's going to be a cliffhanger on episode 12. I think there is. That could possibly lead into a season 2. But I said back in one of my previous reviews, is there going to be season 2? To be honest with you, I really don't know if that's going to happen or not. I definitely don't think it's not going to happen because it would not make really much of sense anyways, or anything like that. Because if Machu and Naya basically both kill each other, then they're not going to return for whatsoever at all. Not going to really return for whatsoever at all. Now I still want to talk about the whole big elephant in the room is basically what the whole character situation. The whole character situation. People are saying like, this is magic. This is all basically sparkly stuff like that. It's just like they really did not like it or anything like that. I understand that people don't basically like that. I don't see there's nothing really wrong with that or anything like that. It's just basically a different situation, basically of a sense of that. It's kind of like it's going through people's thoughts and minds and like how to understand those different moments. Some people are saying like this is kind of like a dirt impact basic kind of situation. I don't think it's not. But if they were to have a weapon basically like that, if that was basically aimed at Earth based on itself would basically be destroyed. So basically what they're going to have to do, basically with Muchin, which I'm definitely going to say, she probably has to destroy it. She probably has to destroy it, or maybe that she really doesn't want to, or maybe there's something else. But the question is, but also the commander, which I forgot to say, that the commander said that, which Muchin will say like, what if Lala was in the Red Sharon? What if she was in that Red Sharon? We don't know that. We don't know that if she was basically actually in there. But the question is that if she was in the Red Sharon, why would she be piloting that in the first place? There's another question. Another question is basically that if Lala is not in that mobile suit, then there must be somebody else must be different. If there was Lala was in that suit, then how come Lala is still exists today, basically on Earth? Or maybe they're just twins. I really don't know. Maybe I'm just not really understanding the situation, or maybe Shard probably put her in that situation, or maybe he really didn't. Maybe this was a purpose for Shard to really actually to do. I really don't know. So I got some homework to do. Let's just put it out. I definitely want to get back into watching the original Gundam series, and hopefully I can definitely do understand what's basically actually what's going on and stuff like that. And I think that Lala is a very, very, very important character when it comes to UC Universal Century in the Gundam series. I think that she really actually is. I think that she's a very pivotal key when it comes to basically anime also as well too, especially with the duels and stuff like that, basically going on with Armor Red and versus Shard and stuff like that. And one thing that the commander says, he said that that Sora has such great ambitions and stuff like that. He's young, he's very talented, based on some of the stuff that he really actually definitely does and stuff like that. I think Sora's ideas are ideas of basically how he sees when it comes to the existence of new types and new types, is that it's not just because like super new new types versus old new types, they can basically coexist to have peace with one another. That's kind of like with basically with the naturals versus the coordinators. That's like with the Gundam Seed Century line with them. Having a bloodshed basically of war and stuff like that. And just like remember what Lacus really actually said, Lacus Klein, when she said that we can't break this cycle chain of death. When somebody attacks, it prompts another attack, and then another one. It's a chain effect. That's what it is. It's a chain effect. If you go back into basically in history, when it comes to World War II or the Revolution War or other different wars, or like the North versus the South, or basically Japan attacking America and all that other stuff and stuff like that. It's just that you're gonna have those things that are basically that are gonna happen. You're gonna have somebody that is gonna be fighting over land, and that's what they're basically gonna do. Take an ask for the Bible, ask for themselves. Israel and the Palestinians, they've been going to war with each other for a long time. I mean, as far as I can remember, a lot of people really don't believe in the Bible. A lot of people don't believe in God. And I understand it. I understand it. That's the way they see it and stuff like that. And people would just basically joke around. It's just basically from that. As a point for me as a Christian, for a stance, for me, yeah, I definitely do believe in that. I definitely do believe in the Bible. I definitely do believe in those kind of fundamentals of those things. Basically what I believe, based on God Himself and stuff like that. I think the point, what I'm trying to say here is that you're going to have conflicts. You're going to have those conflicts in their lives. People are going to have wars basically in their lives. And that's what it basically feels. That's basically what it feels to me. It's not just because you see the war, just like, yeah, I see the war on TV and stuff like that, and see like just basically what's happening. It's just to take out for Star Wars, for example, the rebel forces, the Alliance, has been going up against the Empire, and they succeeded destroying the Empire. But they really actually did. To be honest with you, they really didn't. But they're not fully extinguished, or really are not, because that doesn't mean Emperor Palpatine is gone or anything like that. Because the man's not gone, because he's cloned himself, because he's just like hanging from the wall and just saying, yeah, you know what I mean. That's basically what he was doing. So I think that what I'm trying to say here is basically that when it comes to fundamentals of history, and when it comes to movies and anime or cartoons or whatever it is and stuff like that, you're going to see those things that are definitely going to happen. Definitely going to happen. It's hard to break the chain of the cycle. It's hard. It really is very hard to break that chain of that cycle. Because if that chain of that cycle is not going to end, then there's no way that we can stop. Take as for instance, as for a movie of Disney movie of Pocahontas, the ripples will spread. The more the ripples spread, the more the tolerance that is basically going to happen. But even though basically the grandma tree says, like, somebody has to stop them. Somebody has to stop them from prevent this whole thing from happening. Because if we don't stop the ripples, and we don't stop the chains of effects, and we don't stop the bloodshed, all that other stuff, then we may not succeed based on peace for whatsoever at all. That's what I personally definitely feel. In my opinion, I think that this movie definitely that makes a lot of good sense. Because stopping the ripples. Some people will probably get lost and kind of confused with basically what I'm saying, basically from right here. But if you watch the movie for yourself, you will basically understand. That's just kind of like a asteroid. That's kind of like when an asteroid comes down to Earth and just basically hits the whole entire ocean, like the movie Impact. you can see the ripples, the waves keeps on spreading and just destroys everything in its path. And that's what basically really actually is. It's like an infection. You know, you get affected with something, and then all of a sudden it spreads through your body, and guess what? Guess what? You don't get no treatment. Guess what? Bam! You just die just like that. So I don't mean to be kind of a philosophy kind of guy, a theory kind of guy. I can go on forever, basically with this. I know this is a long review, but I think the point what I'm trying to say here is basically that. Like I said, with Lacus really actually said, and what the Grandma Tree also said, and many other different things, that if we don't stop this, then we may not be able to stop it for whatsoever at all. So that's what I definitely do believe. I think it's kind of sad to see the world that we live in right now. You know, between Israel going to war with Palestine and, you know, Ukraine going to war with Russia and stuff like that, and see like all see all the madness that's going on with our country, based with over in Los Angeles. So yeah. Anyways, I'm hoping. I really definitely do think the next episode is going to be very, very good. I really definitely do think it really actually is. I don't know if everyone's going to agree with me based on this. I don't think everyone really actually is, but I think I'm making a lot of good sense. I think I am, and I just want people to really just to understand and just to see not just from. I don't want people to see from my point of view. I want people to really to understand what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not like saying demand is like, oh, I want respect, this stuff like that and stuff like that. You know, I just want people just to really just to see what's going on. I've been watching anime for a long, long time, and I really have. I've seen these kind of things, really happen. When you learn and watch these things, then you begin to understand. Just like I said before, you begin to understand what the Grandma Tree is saying, and also what Lacus also was saying too. Like I said before, if we don't stop the ripples, then we can't stop it. That's why she said somebody has to stop it, because if we don't stop it, then there's no way that we can't really stop it. History is going to repeat itself. That's what it said. Definitely is going to do. You're going to have somebody, a different country is going to have a conflict with another country. It could happen to us. It could happen to anyone. So yeah. Anyway, so I hope everyone understands those whole philosophies and stuff like that, and theories and stuff. I'm kind of sweating a little bit because I'm hot, because I'm talking really so much and stuff like that. I never made a video that long for a review. I don't know how long I could remember. But yeah, I think it was pretty exciting to me making a long review. But I definitely do think this episode was very good. I think it was a 10 out of 10 episode for me. I definitely do think that it really was, and basically stuff like that. But I don't think that this anime is beyond perfect to me. I really don't think that it's not. There's just some things that I don't like, because like I said before, I don't like the whole situation between Macho and Naya just basically, you know, arguing with each other and just fighting over Sanju or Shinji, whatever his name is, and that's just something I don't like. That's something I really don't like. That's something. Sometimes you will basically see that anime. Sometimes that's very common that you basically will definitely see. But in a Gundam series, I just don't think that's really necessary. I just don't think that's a necessary thing for that to basically to happen. That's just my opinion. That's what I definitely do think. So yeah, that's it for this anime review, for the long anime review. So yeah, it was just anyways. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please hit like me, give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down, and please leave your comments down below. And go crazy on my video. Say like, why you make a long review, James? Why you do that? So yeah. Anyways, enough rambling for that. So yeah. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. Hope you guys have one day. Take care. God bless. I love you guys. Please stay. And remember, stay blessed. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.